Ultra Review is here with a rather spooky list. With Halloween happening in a couple of days' time, I thought I'd put together a list of the best games to play on the scariest day of the year. Please keep in mind that this isn't a list of the best horror games out there, but ones that I felt were perfect for playing on Halloween. Some of these titles are terrifying, whereas others just let you enjoy the festivities. So with that in mind, let's get this list going. Alan Wake. Deciding to take a trip to what might as well be Twin Peaks, Alan Wake soon discovers that not everything is as it seems. Darkness has overtaken the minds of everyone around, and an unknown force is trying to kill him. But to make matters worse, everything that's happening around Alan seems to be following the very same set of events that he himself had previously written about in his new book. Alan Wake might not be the most terrifying game out there, but it is one that tries to think outside of the box and breaks the fourth wall at several key moments, leaving the player feeling very uncomfortable, and in some cases, downright scared. Pony Island. I love Pony Island. For those of you watching this who have played this game, then you're probably going, yeah, I can see why that's on here. If you haven't played it before, then you're probably thinking, what the f***? Make no mistake about it though, Pony Island is not a game about ponies. In fact, it's a game about the devil trying to take your soul. Though you think that you're just playing an arcade game, you're actually stuck in limbo and have been trapped in an arcade game. Now the devil himself is trying to convince you to give in to him and will use every dirty trick in the book to get his own way. Pony Island is most certainly not a scary game, but it's quite good, however, at getting under your skin and making you feel threatened by an enemy who you couldn't possibly go head to head with. This is a great game to play on Halloween for those who just want to feel uncomfortable, rather than outright scared. Corpse Party. Going with the original title in the series, Corpse Party comes in at number 8. After taking part in an innocent ritual with several of your classmates, you now find yourself stuck inside a box dimension with no hope of escape. There is no food, drinkable water, or safe place to rest, as those who have died before now roam the hallways in the hopes of murdering you in the most horrible way imaginable, and should you die in this place, then your spirit will forever suffer in agony in the school from the netherworld. This game will be quite a shock for newcomers. It doesn't look particularly threatening when you first load it up, but be warned, as you'll soon find yourself running for your life from enraged spirits and demons in no time. Petey. Petey's developments were such a sad story in itself, but nevertheless, it comes in at number 7. The house you are locked in seems to be quiet and uneventful at first, but you'll soon find out that this isn't so true as you begin to wander through the hallways. By heading to the end of the house, you'll find that you've re-entered from where you started, and now the house has taken on a slightly menacing atmosphere. Continue your investigation, and things will start heating up, with objects suddenly moving and a sinister spirit watching your every move. Petey is an excellent horror game to play if you just want a quick fright, that is if you still have it, and it doesn't take long to finish, but it is perfect for a quick scare before you move on to your next frightening experience. Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is terrifying. And if you believe that, you'll believe just about anything. But it is by far one of the best games to play on Halloween. I never miss a Scream Fortress event. New maps become available only for that time, new items and costumes are available, you can wear your old Halloween costumes in matches, and best of all, everyone is getting into and enjoying the festivities. Team Fortress 2 is an awesome game in itself, but by far the best time to play it is on Halloween. White Day. White Day is a game that I'm still amazed didn't do well for itself. Originally released only in Korea, it was eventually pulled down due to poor sales. Fortunately, an English patch exists, and those who have played it will tell you how good it is. Even more surprising is that the original version was eventually patched due to complaints of it being too terrifying. If a horror game is considered to be too terrifying, then it must be the best horror game out there, right? But even with its toned down horrors, the jumps and scares will most certainly leave you paralysed. You've been locked in a Korean high school until the morning with nothing to do but try to find a way out, but you'll soon find out that you're not alone. Several tormented souls are observing you, and soon you'll find yourself running from them. The ghost in this game acts like a real ghost would, in that just because you slam the door in its face doesn't mean that it won't get in. This game is very hard to finish, not due to the difficulty, but depending purely on the player's courage. Silent Hill 4. Silent Hill 4 has never really been described as the best Silent Hill title, but I'll go so far as to say that it's the most unnerving one in the series. Having awoken inside a small apartment, you soon discover that you're unable to leave. Your only point of exit is a small hole in the bathroom that leads you to a different location every time you use it. And upon awakening back in your apartment, you'll quickly discover that your supposed safe haven is slowly becoming haunted. Silent Hill 4 gives you a false sense of security by letting you think that certain places are safe before making it clear that they're not safe at all. It gives you hope and then it takes it away. But even with the apartments put to the side, rest assured the rest of the game is just as terrifying and creepy as the titles that came before it, making this an awesome title to play on Halloween. Fatal Frame 2. And now we come to some downright frightening video games. Many horror games will try to scare the player by forcing something into your face before going away, but what if your enemy is always there? The Fatal Frame series is living proof that the East knows how to do horror. Having become lost in the mountains, you and your sister soon learn that you've accidentally stumbled across a village that has been lost for centuries. But just because it's been lost doesn't mean that it's empty. This village sits on top of the gates to hell, and all of its deceased residents have risen from the grave and now roam the streets in spirit form. It is an understatement to say that the ghosts in this game will literally just appear in front of you and will show up in the most unlikely of places, sometimes entering a cramped building by walking through the wall. Your only method of defense is an antique camera that has the power to exorcise these spirits, and the closer you are to them when you take the picture, the more damage you'll do. This means that the most effective way of dealing with ghosts here is to let them get right on top of you before you take the shot. This game truly understands how to spread as much fear as possible. It's forcing the player to let the one thing you don't want to go near get as close to you as possible. A truly terrifying title, and one of the best games out there to play on Halloween. Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Anyone who plays video games knows about this game. Even if you haven't played it, you'll have undoubtedly heard of many a tale of what you'll encounter when playing this one. And I love it! The first Amnesia game is easily one of the most horrific and upsetting horror experiences you'll ever have. You have no means of defending yourself in this game. The only way you can protect yourself is to come up with something ingenious on the spot and hope that it'll pay off. And if that doesn't work, then run. But that's not going to work either because your enemy is faster than you. This means that you have no choice but to confront your fears. It forces those who can stay with it to conquer this nightmare and ignore the warning beacon that's going off in your head. If you're looking for a game that will make you crap your pants this Halloween, then look no further. Actually, check out this last entry because it's even better.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me, cocked your hand to the side and said I'm angry.
Cry of Fear. It makes me sad that this is such an underrated title, but the independent Cry of Fear might actually be the single greatest horror game to have ever existed. You play as Simon, who is on his way home, but after a sudden car accident, the world around you begins to spiral out of control. All manner of deranged creatures and ghosts now roam the land, and all of who are trying to kill you. What sets this title above all the others is how well it understands the mindset of the player when it comes to horror games. It does away with every stereotypical method of frightening the player, making it very difficult to predict when the next scare will come. This puts us in unfamiliar territory, as literally anything could happen at any moment, and you'll find yourself constantly on guard, even when nothing seems to be happening. There is so much horror, and so many horrible moments in this game that will keep you shaking in fear for hours on end. And the best part about it is that it's free on Steam, so you've really got no excuse not to play this one. Quite possibly the best horror game out there, Cry of Fear arrives in as the #1 game to play on Halloween. And we're done for another video, but regardless of which game you decide to play this Halloween, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Check out Twitter while you're at it to find out all of the true review news and updates, and there's also Patreon if you'd like to support me. Thanks for watching, and have a terrifying Halloween. See ya.
Sometimes I think this life is killing me.